Hello, what's up? Thank you for checking out this video. This is Maryjo Mattea, and with her is, introduce the guys. Who we got?
Scott Manley.
Scott Manley and?
Eamonn Donnelly over here.
And you guys play what?
I play drums, sort of percussion.
Sort of percussion. Sort of percussion, but definitely drums.
Yes.
Okay, I got it.
And I
And
play bass and sort of bass.
got it. And Maryjo, guitar and singing.
Guitar and singing and keyboard.
And keyboard. My gosh, she's so multi-talented. So right now we're playing her song The Other Side on the radio right now, and we're about to do an interview with them. But I wanted to give you a little introduction and tell them real quick, if they haven't heard of you, what are the three artists that you sound similar to, if they haven't heard of you?
Nico Case, Alanis Morissette, and Liz Phair.
There it is. So if you like those, definitely check out Maryjo Mattea on whatever platform you get your music from. And of course, we're going to do an interview with all of them, so we'll get to know them right now. But that's a little context for you. Thanks for checking out this video. And now, let's game on. Let's do this thing. That was Maryjo Mattea, and the track was The Other Side. And that's a single that you released, and also an album, right? It's a single and an album?
It will be an EP, although the other
Nice.
songs have not yet been released.
I see. So a sneak preview of what is the future of a new album coming out.
Correct.
And what is the song The Other Side? What is that one about?
That was inspired by one of my bandmates from a different band called Two Dragons and a Cheetah. His name is Joel Wu, and he made a very bold and courageous decision to quit his job and travel the world for a year in a quest for self-discovery and just oneness with the universe, I suppose. I know I'm paraphrasing this. He's going to listen to this and go, that's not right at all. But anyhow, he made this very bold decision, and I just decided that it made for a good story to write a song about, and so it's the story of leaving it all behind and pursuing something greater.
That's awesome. My God. And, well, more about you, but first I want to give you a proper introduction here. So on DC Music Rocks, we're shining a spotlight on the great songs, artists, and incredible people behind the DC region's music scene. Washington, D.C.-based songstress Maryjo Mattea captivates audiences with her uniquely melodic songwriting and a hauntingly beautiful voice. If you didn't hear that song, go back and listen to it again. Man, there's one spot where you just run with it, and it's like, ooh, get it, girl. Yeah, that hauntingly beautiful voice is right. Mattea's music, which has garnered comparisons to Nico Case, Alanis Morissette, and Liz Phair, is the perfect hybrid of polished pop and raw rock. In addition to performing original music and more as a solo artist and with a band, she's also a member of the grunge garage rock duo Two Dragons and a Cheetah, electro rock group Color Palette, post-rock ensemble Endless Winter, and occasional bassist for the synth pop band Loy Loy.
I think I can actually go on record and say it's more than occasional now.
So it might be more than occasional. That's it. So if you want to see her, so that means you play bass in that. There's guitar for some of those groups, and then there's keyboards as well. Are there more instruments you play?
Tambourine.
I have been known to shake a tambourine or a shaker in my life.
And those.
Oh, harmonica. I do a
gracious.
little. It's very pitiful, but I have played a harmonica in some cases.
She also does mouth trumpet too from time to time. I've heard her.
Kazoo. I play a
All right,
mean
now,
kazoo.
all right. So, let's go with the. Oh, that's funny. Anyway, all right. So now, for this, I jokingly asked the story behind your name, but I do want to say, because this is the stage name, right? Maryjo Mattea is the stage name.
That's correct.
And is it based? Is that like a middle name, or where did the moniker come from?
Mattea is in fact my middle name. It's on my driver's license. I can cash checks made out to Maryjo Mattea, so it is legally my name.
It is legally your name. There it is. I love it. And the DC region you guys call home, for all of you guys here. Tell your names again in case they don't remember, and then what you play and what part of the DC are you from?
I'm Scott, and I'm the drummer percussionist with the group. I'm actually from Southeast DC.
Nice.
And my name is Eamonn. I play bass guitar, and I currently live in Silver Spring, but I was born and raised right here in D.C.
Awesome. Maryjo?
I was not born and raised in Washington, D.C., but I've been here for quite a while, and I currently live in Northwest in the neighborhood known as Columbia Heights.
There it is. The Heights are in the house. I love it. And now, for fun, earliest memory with music for all three of you guys. Maryjo, you first.
Okay, I actually do remember this. When I was probably around 7 years old, I had a Muppet Babies keyboard, and I watched the movie Big with Tom Hanks.
Really?
And I'm sure everyone here and everyone listening has seen the scene in which he's at FAO Schwartz dancing on a giant piano to Heart and Soul. And I grabbed my Muppet Babies keyboard and learned how to play by hearing it, Heart and Soul. My parents thought I was a musical prodigy and then enrolled me in piano lessons.
Well, I gotta say, if the result of all of that history is what we're hearing now from the music, I'm really glad that that happened.
They were probably
Thank
very
you.
glad for buying me that Muppet Babies keyboard.
Thank you, Tom Hanks. Thank you, thank you. It's so
Thank you, Jim
good.
Henson, too.
Exactly. Scott, what about you, man?
My earliest memory with music is probably, I think when I was like 5 years old or something like that, there is some like TV special that had like Kiss on it. And like at that moment I was like, that is the coolest thing in the world. And that's what I want to do. I want to be Kiss. And so like I just used to go out and like sing to my parents' radio and stuff like that. The drums like came in much later in time. I played snare drum at school. And then I think when I was like 12, I wanted to, like, I was air guitaring, and then it kind of hit me. I was like, well, I play snare drum. Maybe I should think about playing the drums. And then eventually that's what I just did. I just picked up on doing the drums, and just it stayed with me ever since.
That's awesome. I dig it. And what about you, Eamon?
So I'm going to go way back to when I was just a kid, and my brother and my cousin and I, before we ever even like thought about learning actually like how to play instruments or learn how to read music or anything, we would like pantomime to like Beatles songs for our parents with like, you know, tennis rackets like as a guitar, for example.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, we'd like play like, and it was like early Beatles hits, you know, like stuff from like their early records. So yeah, just kind of like rocking out and like doing Paul's little like head shake, and like, you know, trying to like wear like the like, you know, matching outfits like just like they did. So yeah, I was basically just trying to be the Beatles from a very young age.
That's awesome.
Is
So
there
thank you,
any video
Beatles.
evidence of this?
Just talk to my mom. I'm sure she has something.
All right,
I'm
Eamon's
sure she
mom.
has something.
Calling Eamon's mom.
Yeah.
Please do share this with
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
If I get my hands on it, I will post it on social media. So maybe you better not share it with me. But anyway, that's awesome. All right, now talk about you guys on the personal side. So outside of this music thing, what do you do for fun outside? Maryjo first.
So I have a day job that is very, very different from doing music in any capacity, and that is I work as a report review officer at the National Academies.
Wow.
So I'm in a very like scientific role there, and then I also have another random job, which is that I teach Zumba.
Zumba?
Which is, just for those of you
So
who don't know,
good.
it's like dance fitness with predominantly Latin music, though not exclusively. And I actually, you'll appreciate this, I end every class I teach with local music for the cool down. So it's always a DC area artist that is in our cool down section.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And I also
that's
like
awesome.
to play with my dog Stella.
Oh, of course. Oh my God, love Stella. It's hashtag Stella is a dog.
Yeah, she has a hashtag on social media if you are curious.
That's
She's
awesome.
a pit mix from the Humane Rescue Alliance.
And if they don't know, you said in national academies. That doesn't mean anything to me. You said report something about reports. What field is that in?
It's a lot of different fields. So it's the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine. And there's divisions that cover everything. I've got reviews in my reports in my portfolio now that deal with chemical dispersants for oil spills, and then also ending childhood poverty. So it really runs the
Wow.
gamut.
Anything. Good
Yeah,
gracious.
everything.
All over the place. Scott, what about you, man?
So first and foremost, I am a husband and father of 2 children.
Nice.
So shout out to my wife, Cindy, and my 2 children, Darwin and Mendel. That takes up a lot of my time outside of doing music, but I love everyone in my family, and it's great being at home, get a chance to be with my kids. I work for a medical company, but I work over at Georgetown University Hospital, so I'm all day like in surgery. I get to wear nice blue pajama scrubs all day long. It's the greatest.
Nice.
It's great in terms of that, but I get to be part of surgery and get to see insides of other people all the time. So
My God, between the family and the insides of other people, it sounds like an awesome life, man.
it's great. It's awesome.
Hold on, can I insert something? Scott has actually seen the inside of my elbow. Is that correct?
It is true. It's
Yeah.
true.
Oh, there was surgery
There
that
was
happened.
surgery, and I was there at the
And
hospital.
he was at the hospital,
And I
and he actually got to see the inside of my elbow.
I got to see a
That's
part of Maryjo that
awesome.
she has never seen.
What? Oh my God, that's good. Eamon, there's so many opportunities to go beautiful places with that. I'm going to let you do that in your own mind, because that's awesome. Eamon, talk to us, man.
So I work as a graphic designer and illustrator during the day, and then at night you might be able to catch me at local shows around DC shooting bands. I actually recently shot your band at Black Cat Fellowcraft. And then,
What's your moniker when you say shooting?
Oh, I mean, I don't really have one.
Hobby,
Like,
I got you.
yeah, it's like I'm too new to it to really like go that deep into it yet. But I'm really enjoying it. It's a great way to see new artists and see good shows around town. And then finally, I'm just a huge soccer fan. I'm so glad DC United has a brand new venue to showcase their improving soccer skills. It's
Good
like,
way to put it.
yeah, it's like
I like
the
it.
season started out pretty rough, but they finished on a high note. So yeah, looking forward to next season.
And before we went on the air, you were talking about the story behind the band. Tell that story. How did you guys get together, and what was that?
I'm going to let Scott go ahead and describe how he and I were introduced.
Yeah, I feel like there's been kind of sort of several incarnations, I guess at best, but we kind of came together when I first moved to the DC area, which was not, I think, just a few months after you did. A mutual friend of ours from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So I grew up in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I'm sorry, I kind of omitted that earlier, but I grew up in Lancaster, and a friend that I had played in a number of bands with, throughout the years, went to high school with. He sent myself and Maryjo an email and said, "Hey, you guys are both musicians. You're great musicians. You guys should really know each other and get to play with each other." And from there, we hooked up. We got a chance to do some stuff. And honestly, I think you're probably one of the first people I kind of met when I came here and started playing with. And here we are. I mean, it's like 8 years now. And so we've every record. So this is her third release that she's done solo, and I've played on every single record that she's put out and everything.
Scott is the one link for all of them. He's on all of it.
I was going to say, there's been some changing faces, and actually that brings up Eamon. So then how did Eamon come in the picture?
So I used to be in a band in Chicago called The Kickback, and we got to play DC9. We were playing with Color Palette, and I had thought at the time that Maryjo was part of Color Palette, like at least when I moved back to DC. But it turns out you had not joined them yet. Right? You were just there in attendance?
Yeah, there was a show. I don't remember if it was a DC9, but there was a show where I was playing with Two Dragons and a Cheetah, and Color Palette was on the bill, and that was before I was a member of Color Palette. And The Kickback also played that show. Yeah, I think by the time you had moved back to DC, I was actually a member of Color Palette.
Nice.
It wasn't at first.
But yeah, since I was since I had been out of touch with the DC scene, I just reached out to people that I knew, and I reached out to Maryjo, and at the time I was like, "Hey, do you know anybody or any bands who need bass players?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'll ask around." And then actually, funny enough, I was browsing Craigslist, came upon a wanted ad for a bass player for a Beatles cover band, and obviously, I'm a huge Beatles fan, as you can tell, based on my childhood memories I've previously shared. And then actually, so I composed this long email, I was like, "These are my credentials, this is how long I've been playing, you check out videos and music," I took it very seriously, wanted to make myself the best candidate. And Maryjo just responded "I know exactly who you are." Just one word response. But it was perfect. It all worked out perfectly.
I really appreciated the hard work that went into your response.
Yeah, because when you check out these Craigslist ads, the most frustrating ones are the ones that are just "Yeah, we kind of sound like this, and there are no YouTube links, there's no music, there's nothing." It's "Oh yeah, we have a practice space way out in the suburbs or something that you need a car to get to or something like that." And it was just really nice to just know exactly who I was dealing with up front.
And now I've got one quick question that I always want to ask, and we got to jump back into music too, but Maryjo, I want you to say, if you could offer one piece of advice, what would it be?
One piece of advice for whom or for what?
Take whatever context you like. You
Oh.
only get one.
You do you. That's my advice for pretty much everything, is that you need to be true to yourself and not follow anybody else's rules.
And where does that come from in your life?
Oh my gosh. Being obstinate? I don't know.
That was the shortest add-on answer to that question that I've ever gotten in history, and I love it. That's hilarious. And all right, now, if people want to find out more about you and where they can go to find what's going on with Maryjo and what you guys are doing, where do they go?
Well, first and foremost, we have a website, www.maryjomattea.com. We're also on all of the socials, facebook.com/Maryjo Mattea, instagram.com/Maryjo Mattea. It's very consistent. And on those various sites, you can find information about new releases, about upcoming shows, about, I don't know, if I bought a new pair of shoes that I really liked. Actually, I don't really post that much.
And then, of course, there's a mailing list, too, right?
Yeah, there is a
Yes.
mailing list, and I've gotten really into my mailing lists. For those of you who have received it, you'll see, like, pictures from my international travels and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, my God. So if you want love notes from Maryjo, sign up for the email list. And that'll be fun. Fun way to follow what you guys are doing. Now, we've been, as a guest on DC Music Rock, we ask you to bring great music with you. And, of course, Maryjo did that. So let's jump back into the music and let's play a song here. Maryjo, what do you have for us first today?
I think the first song we have up is a song called Chelsea by Color Palette.
And there it is. So, check out Chelsea by Color Palette. This is another one of the bands that she's in, Color Palette. And then we're also going to play Two Dragons and a Cheetah. The song is Wind Me Up, which is also phenomenal. There's just so much good music on the episode. So, if you don't already, subscribe to DC Music Rocks on your podcasts and sign up for the email list and all that. And, of course, everything about Maryjo, you heard it here. Check it out. And thanks to Scott, and thanks to Eamonn, and thank you for checking it out. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much, guys.